So now that we've covered the sleep foundation checklist, I'm going to start covering sleep training strategies, the question that everybody wants answered first. But again, I want to really make very clear that how important it is to make sure that those sleep foundations are in place. Because if we skip just to the sleep training, it is a recipe for disaster. We will not reach our sleep goals if what we covered in the sleep foundations are not in place. So, basically, at the top level, there's 3 approaches to sleep training your baby. There's the cry it out, which we just covered. There is a graduated extinction method where we are doing time checks on our baby, timing based on baby's age. And then there is what we call an attended crying it out, an attended sleep training, many times referred to as a pick up, put down method, where we are helping our baby learn to self-soothe, learn to sleep independently with our presence there, but not going to sleep for our baby. After all, that's their job, not our job. So we're helping them learn that. If she has woken up prior to that 5 hours or hasn't had a good time or cannot go to sleep on her own for her naps or at the beginning of bed, we'll cover what would be the pick up, put down strategy for her. So you've gone through your bedtime routine, you've laid her on her back, she's not happy. What you're going to do at this point is, first of all, give her some time to cry a little bit. It's okay for your baby to express their frustration. We don't want to just shut them up. We don't want to give them the message that you don't get to be frustrated. So let them be frustrated, but you are there. And where are you? On day 1 through 3 of a pick up, put down, you will be standing next to the crib, but you are not looking down into the crib. This is not a social hour. What you're doing is you're there to be helpful and to intervene when necessary. So you've laid her down. She's beginning to fuss. You let her fuss for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, however long you can handle it, but please do not let her reach a level 10 in her crying. And you know what a level 10 is for your baby. Prior to her reaching that level 10, you will reach down, pick her up, and place her over your shoulder. You will stay stationary next to the crib. And you will place her over your shoulder, and you can pat and shush and use your nighttime words. Your nighttime words should be consistent, the ones that you used in your bedtime routine and that you use in your nap time routine. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in. The second she settles down is the second you want to put her back down into her crib. Don't make that mistake, that very common mistake of going, well, if I just hold her just for a little bit longer until she's really kind of sleeping, then I'll put her down and everything will be fine. You're prolonging the inevitable. Even if you know when you lay her back down, she's going to cry, that's okay. Lay her all the way back down. Repeat. You stand next to the crib. Do not make interaction with your face. You can use your words. Your voice is your most powerful tool. Let her fuss. Pick her up before she reaches that 10. Place her over your shoulder. You can shush and pat. And down she goes. The second she settles. The second she goes from wah to is when she goes down. Even if she cries on the way back down to the crib, she goes all the way back down, and you repeat. You can use a firm hand and some shushing and patting when you are laying her in her crib, but do not use the shushing and patting and firm hand until she's asleep, because again, you're trying to go to sleep for her. So when you lay her in her bed, you may do some shush, pat, use your nighttime words, and then stand. Should she begin to cry, let her fuss. Don't let her reach to a 10. Pick her up, place her over your shoulder, pat and shush, use your words, and then the second she settles, back down she goes. Another thing to remember is when you go to pick her up, if she's reached a level 10 and she's arching her back and fighting you, do not pick her up. You don't want to fight a crying and upset child. Use some more firm hands and some shushing and patting and get her to settle down a little bit more before you need to pick her up. You may find that this is at the very end of her fight before she goes to sleep. You will continue to pick up, shush, pat, put down, stand next to the crib until she goes to sleep. Well, Patty, how long is this going to take? I don't know. Every child is different. But I can assure you, if her sleep foundations are in place, if you are following a consistent daily schedule, if you are being consistent and routine in your approach to the pickup and put down, if her sleep environment is where it should be at, that it will not go on forever. And I can tell you for sure that however long it took the first time till she fell asleep, the second time that you need to use pick up, put down will be less. It may be 5 minutes less, but it will take less time because your baby is learning. And that's day 1 through 3. Once she is asleep, you've picked up, you've put down, you've picked up, put down, she's asleep now. The white noise is on all night. The lullabies have turned off. If you're still picking and putting down, you may turn on the lullabies again throughout this process. But once she's asleep, let them turn off on their own and the white noise will be on all night long. Days 1 through 3, I want you to stay until she is in a deep sleep. The way you'll know she's in a deep sleep is that her eyes will move back and forth under her eyelids and she will melt into the mattress. The reason I like you to stay there is because we are trying to make sure she realizes that you are there for her. And the way to do that is to be there for her. You will be quiet. You will not engage. This is not social hour. But should she stir, give her a chance to just stir and to take care of it on her own. We want to give her an opportunity to use the skills that you're teaching her. But should she need to be picked up again and start the process again, you're there to do it. Again, it won't take nearly as long as it took in the first attempt, but you might need to do it again before she's down for the count. Once she is in a deep sleep, then leave the room and close the door behind you. You can use your monitor to check on her. So that's day 1 through 3. When you press go on the method, you're going to press go under 2 conditions. 1, it's at night. You're not going to begin sleep training during a nap time or during the day. You're going to begin sleep training at night because that's when that stronger drive to sleep is there. So you're going to have more success if you start at night. And number 2, you're going to start sleep training when you're physically ready and emotionally ready to press go and not to turn back. So you may want to wait to a weekend till when you don't need to be bushy-tailed and bright for work the next day. So you want to plan carefully when you press go for sleep training. So you've put her to bed. You've used your pick up, put down method. You've walked out. She's woken up once, twice. You've used it again. You've fed her. She's either slept to the morning or she woke up again, and you're going to use your pick up and put down method to get her as close as you can to her morning wake up time. So say her morning wake up time is 7 a.m. and she woke up at 6. You will use your pick up, put down method until as close to 7 as you can get. If you can only get to 6:20 and have to feed her, that's okay. Do that day. The next day, try to get to 6:30. The next day, try to get to 6:45. The point being is that when you are feeding her, when it is time for her to wake up, that encourages her body to not wake up prior to the time it's to get up, because her body won't say, wake up, it's time to eat. So that's why you're going to try to push her off in the morning to the closest as you can to get to her morning wake up time.